Hi or welcome back or welcome if you're new. It is Sunshine Lorena and today I'm going to be bringing you my January TBR. Hi guys, so can you believe it? We are, well, almost in January. Not quite in January when I'm filming this, but this close to January and it's 2022. Like, where's the time went? Honestly, like I don't know where the time's gone. So yes, I am doing my TBR. I'm going back to using the jar with the prompts. I've added an extra few ones now because I went through them and realised there were some like genres I could have added in, like fantasy, because I actually have some fantasy books now. I realised that I didn't have like a free pick book. You know, allow myself a little bit of leeway, free pick, no pressure. Like mystery, yeah, so there's a few different ones I've added in there now to give a little bit more of variety. So that's going to be really interesting. But as always, I'm going to kick off the video with the ones that I have to read anyway before we do the jar picks. So in January, I'm starting the Poppy War read along. I'm hosting it with Jane, Charlotte and Megan. I'll leave the announcement videos and the Twitter as well. So you're still in time to come and join us if you want to. So I'm super excited for this. This is a fantasy book if you haven't read it. It's a trilogy. We're kicking off a reading sprint on the 2nd as well, so I'll leave like that information. It's all on the Twitter anyway. So in this one our main character is Rin, and this is like an urban fantasy. It's based on some of like real life war as well in this one. So Rin ends up taking this test to be to get into this sort of special school who only the most talented people can get into it, and she surprisingly passes it and surprises everyone. It also ends up turning out that she has a lot of talent, and I think one of the teacher helps her study for certain things. But yes, the Empire is currently at peace. The Federation still lurks across a narrow sea. The Federation occupied Nikan for decades after the First Poppy War and only barely lost the continent in the second. And while most people come and go about their lives, a few are aware that a third Poppy War is just a spark away. So yes, it is something's going to happen in this, and it's a trilogy, and yes, I'm actually looking forward to starting a series and going to finish it in the same year. That I know I'm going to do it for a fact. So that's really exciting. So guys, I've given up on Austen Along, which has been hosted by Kiara Foster. I did start Emma in November and then I didn't finish it. I was like, oh, I was going to do it at the start of December and I just wasn't feeling it. So I've rain checked it, not DNF, because I know it's a really good book. It just wasn't the right time for me. So that, yeah, rain checked it. Didn't even attempt to pick up Northanger Abbey in December, so I'm not even going to bother trying to attempt to read Persuasion in January at all. I think it's just too much. I think I need to get back into the mood for those types of books, So yes, not doing that one. So yes, I'm still going with Chloe Reed's Books Book Club, which is Chloe Crime Scene Corner. It's a mixture. 1 month is like non-fiction, one is fiction. It's like true crime, dark fiction, horror, etc. Those type of ones. So we are doing a non-fiction book in January, and that is Death Row: The Final Minutes, and it's by Michelle Lyons. And yeah, I'm just going to read you the synopsis because I don't really know that much about it. So in 12 years, Michelle Lyons witnessed nearly 300 executions. As a reporter and then spokesperson for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, Michelle was a frequent visitor to Huntsville Walls Unit, where she recorded the final moments of death row inmates' lives before they were put to death by the state. Michelle witnessed some of the most notorious criminals, including serial killers, child murderers, and rapists, speak their last words on earth while a cocktail of lethal drugs surged through their veins. Misgivings began to set in as the execution numbers mounted. She came to know, unlike some of the condemned people she saw die, and began to query the seemingly arbitrary nature of the death penalty. Do executions actually make the victims of us all? So yes, it sounds really intriguing. And yeah, I do remember when I was at school, like we did a little section on death row. And yeah, I think because we don't have it in the UK, it's something that intrigues me. Like, I don't know the full system, how it works. So I think this is going to be really interesting, and also just to see how how people are, what she witnessed. I do know, I think it's not like they immediately get put to death. I think they're in jail for a certain period of time before that happens. So I'm intrigued just to see the background of it. I am getting the audiobook from my library, so I'm going to do this as an audiobook throughout the month. So yes, I think that'll be really good. Looking forward to it. Pick number 1. Ebook. Okay, so pick number 1, an ebook. And I went with The New Girl by Ruth Healed. This is a NetGalley ARC that I got approved for. It was like my first one that I actually got approved for, because I've been doing the Read Now ones before. So I'm super excited. This is a thriller. It comes out on I want to say the 25th of January. Let me double check that. Yes, it comes out on the 25th of January. And yes, I am super excited. So I was going to be reading this anyway, so I'm really glad that I ended up picking out ebooks. I could put this as one of my picks. So in this one, behind her dream lies the perfect nightmare. I couldn't believe it when I got the phone call to offer me a dream job. It was right in the heart of the city, with a flat provided. I jumped at the chance, and within days I'd made new friends and dating a wonderful man. For the first time in years, I feel safe. It's a world away from the life I ran from. But soon strange things begin to happen in my flat. Odd noises at night, the feeling that I'm being watched. When I discover an old dress hidden behind my wardrobe and wear it to work, the atmosphere chills instantly. The dress belonged to a girl my boss would rather forget, the girl before me who vanished without a trace. I tell myself not to worry, that I'm just imagining things, but when a young woman arrives on my doorstep, she warns me to leave my new life behind. She tells me there are more girls like me, and we are more connected than I could ever have imagined. Then I come face to face with the reason I ran all those years ago, and it soon becomes clear somebody knows my secret and they'll do anything to keep me silent. So yes, I'm super intrigued by that. I'm excited to read this one, and yeah, like I said, I'm really glad that I managed to get this onto my TBR. Pick number 2. Pick number 2. Is Mystery. Can you see? Focus. No, focus. Mystery. Okay, so the next one is Mystery. This is a new prompt for me, so it could be like a murder mystery, cozy mystery, mystery thriller, you know, anything that involves mystery. Just because I do enjoy mysteries a lot, equally as much as thrillers, so I thought it'd be really good to have a prompt in there, and I picked it this month, so that's great. So the one I've chosen for this is Murder on Orient Express by Agatha Christie. This is one of the books I wanted to read this winter, so I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to pick this one, you know, because I know that there's snowy vibes in this, so reading it in January I think is just perfect. Agatha is the queen of murder mysteries, and I read my very first one in November and there were none. Absolutely loved it, so I'm excited to pick up another one by her. I will eventually read them in order. However, I mentioned this in my Winter TBR video, I don't want to wait to get to the point that I'm able to read this in the order of the series, because it'll be basically next winter. I already had it on my shelves and I wanted to read it beforehand. But yes, this one, just after midnight, the famous Orient Express is stopped in its track by a snowdrift. A passenger lies dead in his compartment, stabbed a dozen times, his door locked from the inside. Isolated by the storm and with a killer in their midst, Detective Parriott must identify the prime suspects from a scornful and impatient array of passengers before the murderer decides to strike again. So yeah, super intrigued by this one. I love the whole locked room murder mystery vibes. And yeah, she's the queen, so I'm expecting a lot of good things from this one. Pick number 3. Over 400 pages. Great. Okay, so for number 3, over 400 pages, and I've chosen The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon. I don't know how well you can see that because it's a white cover and it's like a white background. So yes, a snowy atmosphere as well again. Again, it was on my Winter TBR, so I'm glad to pick this one up. It's 400 and, I want to say 62, 400 and 462 pages, I was right. And yes, I've had this since autumn and I've been waiting and waiting to read this at the perfect time, and now it is. So this is a horror book, and I think it has some historical fiction vibes to it as well. So it comes highly recommended by people in BookTube, like the BookTube horror community. So I'm excited to read this. So West Hall, Vermont has always been a town of strange disappearances and old legends. The most mysterious is that of Sarah Harrison Shea, who in 1908 was found dead in the field behind her house just months after the tragic death of her daughter. Now, in the present day, 19-year-old Ruthie lives in Sarah's farmhouse with her mother Alice and her younger sister Fawn. Alice has always insisted that they live off the grid, a decision that has weighty consequences when Ruthie wakes up one morning to find that Alice has vanished. In her search for clues, she started to uncover a copy of Sarah's diary hidden beneath the floorboards of her mother's bedroom. As Ruthie gets sucked into the historical mysteries, she discovers that she's not the only person looking for someone they've lost, but she may be the only one who can stop history from repeating itself. It sounds super intriguing. Yes, I'm looking forward to those snowy atmosphere, wintry vibes, and yes, I think this is going to be enjoyable. Pick number 4. Free pick, yay! Yay, another new prompt I picked this month, and that is a free pick. So I decided to add this one into the TBR jar because I was just doing a review of what prompts I had, and I realised that I didn't have one that really gave me the option just to choose like whatever I wanted. So I added that one and I picked it this month, so yay, so happy. And I decided to go with the Poppy War. I'm having to read this one anyway, so I think it's good to put it on as one of these 5 TBR jar picks, so it reduces my TBR a little bit. So yeah, I've already told you what it's about, so I'm not going to go over it, but yeah, looking forward to it. And 5th and last pick. Oh, focus. Under 300 pages. So the final and 5th pick is under 300 pages, which is great, a really good one to pick up. So yeah, for this one I've picked I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid, and it's 242 pages. However, I'm going to be listening to the audiobook from Scribd, as you know, I like to have an audiobook on the go, but it is under 300 pages, so that's fine. So this is like, it has horror vibes. I think there's like literary suspense. I think it's a little bit cross genres is what I've heard. I've heard it's a great atmosphere, which is also why I want to do the audiobook for it. So yeah, this one, just in the synopsis, says, I'm thinking of ending things. Once the thought arrives, it stays, it sticks, it lingers, it's always there, always. Jake once said, sometimes a thought is closer to the truth, to reality, than an action. You can say anything, you can do anything, but you can't fake a thought. And here's what I'm thinking, I don't want to be here. So yes, that is what has in the synopsis, but I have heard it's when it's a couple and they're going back to meet his parents at his parents' house or something, and I think afterwards he ends up abandoning her in like a snowstorm in a car park or something. That's all I know, but it sounds super intriguing, and I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, that is the last one for my January TBR. So yeah, let me know if you've read any of these, what you thought of them. Let me know if you're going to be joining along on the Poppy War read along. And yeah, comment, like, subscribe. I post on Wednesdays and Sundays, and I'll hopefully see you next one. Bye.